Hello, this is Kenny Demershi from Utah State University. Today I will demonstrate how to rotate, translate, and scale total station data in Leica Geomatics Office. So I'm going to go ahead and open a project. I've already imported the data, and it's off in some odd space, and I want to get it into UTM. So if we look in our points window, we can see the coordinates are assumed and goofy. 5,000 easting and some big old goofy number for the northing. So what we need to do is go to the view edit and just get familiar with the data. There was benchmark 4 here. This is benchmark 2, I believe. Zoom in. Actually, yeah, benchmark 2. Okay. I'm zooming out. And control point number 2000. So I've already looked at my control, and I have those prepared in another file. Timeout. So here's my control. These are UTM coordinates. So I've numbered the point benchmark 2. I've numbered it 7002, 7004 for benchmark 4. So I don't want to use point numbers here that match any points that might be in my file already, because that'll create some major problems. Always want separate independent point numbers in LGO. If you try to bring in the same point number twice, it will confuse the northing, the easting, the heights, and you never know what you're going to get. Okay, and I'm actually going to copy this path. Okay, close this file. So I'm going to import an ASCII. Basically, I'm importing my control that are in UTM coordinates. Oh, it looks like I can't actually use that pathway that I cut. Oregon, John Day, Bridge Creek. And Corral B, LGO, export demo, control text. You want to check these settings here. They look good. And start import at row 1. It's not correct. So I'm point ID northern easting ortho height code. Row 2. Next. And then here you set your delimiter. And next. These are control, grid, meters, and then identify. So I'm right clicking on this number, and I go to coordinates, northing, coordinates, easting, right click, coordinates, ortho height, and this will be thematic code. So I'm setting my import format. Then next. No template required. Where do you want to import it to? I'm going to assign it to the current job. Close. Okay, so this is my topo data. And way over here are the 2 points I just imported. And using this tool, we can actually it's a point finder tool. Okay, now let's remember this is benchmark 02, benchmark 04. And actually here, let's do this. So 04 and 02, they're in the opposite. Looks like they're about opposite. So I'm going to have to rotate and translate all of this data over to my UTM coordinates. And the values that I use, I'll let the computer figure it out for me. So we need to select all of these points. And I did that by just going in the upper left-hand corner and left-clicking, dragging down to the right corner, and they turn blue. That means they're selected. And then right-click, shift, rotate, and scale. Now when I do the shift, rotate, and scale, I always do them one at a time. I've tried doing it two at a time, and it doesn't work for some reason. I don't know. So just do it one at a time, and I always actually do the rotate first. So all the points highlighted are listed here. If they're not, you need to figure out what's going on and enter manually. That's what I want to do. So I won't shift yet. I'm going to do the rotation first. So we're going to rotate around point number 2. The reason I'm selecting 2 is that's where the survey started. The instrument initially was set here on point 2. So rotation around point 2, and we're going to calculate from point 2 to point 4. And that's equivalent to 7,002 and 7,004. So the old azimuth is here. The new azimuth is shown here. So next, and no scale. I never apply a scale. So that's the lesson on scaling. Never apply scale. So now it's telling me, this is a summary of all the settings, and it is doing a rotation around this point. Okay, and finish. So if we go back here and zoom in, you can see the rotation is definitely different. And one handy little tool is a Kogo tool. What do they call it here? Show direction and distance. From point 2 here, 2002. That's not what I want. I want point 2 actually. 2.4. So the bearing is now 334.90553. And here's the distance, 247.937. 334.90553. So now I'll go to 7,002. Grid bearing. You know what? It doesn't actually look the same. Oh, maybe it was. Okay, I'm going to write it down. 334.90553. Now I go back to 2 and 4. So I'm just checking my rotation. Yeah, it's the same. Now that this data is still in an assumed coordinate system, but it's rotated correctly. So once again, I will select the data, right click, show direction and distance. Oh, I'm sorry, right click, shift, rotate, scale. So I've done the rotation. I don't do a scale. So now I need to do the shift. How much do I want to shift? I have no idea, but I can calculate it from point ID. Because I rotated around 2, I'll use number 2 again. From point 2 to 7,002. So it does the math for us and tells us there's a easting shift, a northing shift, and also a vertical shift. And next, no rotation, we've already done it. No scale, we never do it. Summary. Next, once again, the points that are going to be moved, and finish. So now, if we zoom in real close, we can't see a difference between 7004 and the other point. Oh, there they are. So hey, what is that distance? Let's do show direction and distance. From 7004 to 0.40. So that point is looking excellent. Let's go ahead and move to 0.2. And basically they're one and the same. If I zoom out, oh, they aren't the same, are they? Let's take a look. Yep, they are the same. But there will be a stake point. Yeah, see, there's a stake point. So there was a little bit of error in the survey. Let's find out how much. Let's see, 2002. Okay. And when we stake that point, it was 16 millimeters and 16 horizontal and 16 vertical. So that is acceptable. So this all looks very good. Let's just do that one. And if we look at our points, all the northern and eastern are similar. Something odd going on here that'll have to be checked. It may be that this point didn't calculate properly. So 2007, let's take a look. TPS survey. Not sure. Might as well delete that point. Okay, that is rotating and translating data from one coordinate system to another with LGO for moving total station data. Usually the data that will be moved in LGO will be the total station data from an assumed coordinate system to a UTM coordinate system. Thank you very much. Have a good day.